If you haven't watched it yet, welcome. This is Skeleton Crew, episode 5. The story begins with Wim's father and Neil's mother conspiring to steal their workplace's access codes. These access codes will allow them to contact and communicate with their children. Only one-sided though, but they still lack the barrier code blocking out all communication outside of the planet. Neil's mother gives Wim's father a special receiver to break into the system. He's very nervous and unstable, and Wim's father draws suspicion when a droid detects an error in his workplace. When he tries to hide the receiver, he's discovered, and the droid delivers the evidence to Fern's mother. The droid asks if Wim's father should be arrested. Instead, she orders the droid to power down and erase its memory. She then berates Wim's father, frustrated that his recklessness almost ruined their plan. Ruined their plan of getting the kids back lawfully, legally, right? So there's this little moral divide of saving your kids by any means versus following the lawful methods. And Wim's father chose the first. Meanwhile, the kids have restrained SM-33 for their own safety, and KB tinkers with his internals so that he won't go berserk upon them as soon as he wakes up. When questioned, SM-33 reveals that the ship that they're on is called the Onyx Sender, and it actually belonged to the legendary Captain Rennod. The kids don't recognize the name, but Jod fanboys over Rennod and the ship. Rennod's lair is said to be hidden on a dangerous planet once known as a pirate stronghold, now repurposed into a luxury resort. Kind of makes sense that the kids do not know who Captain Rennod is, as they have been shielded and guarded their whole life in the planet, so they don't really know the culture. And to be honest, neither do we. The last time I checked, Captain Rennod isn't some canon figure or some non-canon figure that's in comics or games or anything like that. This is the first that we've heard of him, as long as I can remember. Eventually, they approach this planet, and when they land, Jod disguises the children as wise elders, since kids aren't allowed to be there. SM-33 laments that Squirridge Mountain, once feared, has become a holiday lounge. So as Jod orders room service, he's confronted by an old acquaintance who calls him Dash Zentin. Just one more name to add to all the aliases. So, who is Dash Zentin? According to her, she accuses Zentin of betraying her and leaving her in a ditch and taking her bounty. Eventually, they go up to their suite, and Jod tries to warn the kids that she's most likely sending in pirate reinforcements to collect his bounty, but they remain distracted by the scenery, unaware of the true danger of this man's past that will come back to bite him. Soon the group splits up, and Fern and Wim befriend a massive sentient being named Catalyst. I assume based on the name and the look, this is just a Star Wars style Cthulhu, and this is one of the largest sentient beings I have ever seen in Star Wars, canon or non-canon. Catalyst distrusts Jod immediately and tries to warn the kids that this is not a person that you need to place your life in. But they have no choice, as the pirates quickly enter the orbit and destroy the security ships that are flying around the planet. So they all regroup, and Catalyst guides the kids to a secret tunnel below. Inside the tunnel, the kids encounter traps, numerous traps, that is very fitting for a pirate's treasure hoard, especially for the most legendary pirate, Captain Rennod. And SM-33 reveals that Captain Rennod's lair lies beneath an acid pond. The kids are stuck, and not even SM-33's very durable body can get through this. There has to be like another way. They soon realize that there's like a little riddle on the top of the ceiling. This riddle reveals that you have to sacrifice what's most dear to a pirate. The kids guess that one of them has to be sacrificed, not knowing pirates don't care about life. They take life all the time. Jod points this out. What's most dear to a pirate is treasure. He tosses their last Republic credit into the acid, unlocking the layer, and they descend in just as the pirates close in, sealing the door behind them. Inside, they find mountains of treasure. Jod warns them not to touch anything, knowing traps are everywhere. Among the hoard, he locates Rennod's recorded message and the coordinates to the kids' homeworld at Aden. The children eagerly remind him of his promise to return them home and he'll be rewarded. But Jod's greed and his green eye really start to show through. He immediately challenges Fern for the title of captain. When Fern refuses to yield, Jod uses the Force to overpower her and hold a knife to her throat. The children cower until Wim bravely ignites a lightsaber found among the treasure, and instead nearly injuring himself and almost cutting off his foot in the process. The kids, understanding that they are royally fucked, realize that they are not escaping. There's pirates on the other side, and there's Jod on this side. Jod asks M733, now that he is the captain, to restrain the kids. Right before SM33 gets to it, Wim is able to trigger a trapdoor, and they fall through. The episode ends off with Jod taking the lightsaber.